Hi there, Mark Sabatella from Mastering MuseScore here. In this video, I want to talk about suspension and show you an example in Pachelbel's canon. So a suspension is a harmonic device. It's for creating some interest in your music, and it's been around since the Renaissance, before they were really even talking about chords. We had suspensions as a way of creating harmonic interest. And the idea is simple, I guess. We're going to be in the key of D here. And at some point, we're going to have a 4-chord, G, and then a 5-chord, A, and then the 1-chord, D. Perfectly normal thing. And one voice, the voice singing the D here, I'm going to go ahead and sing that part. Sounds great, right? Well, what happens, and I love to think this is exactly how it happens. What happens if the person singing the D just was a little bit asleep at the wheel? And this is not a vocal piece, the Pachelbel canon, but this device came from vocal music, all right? What if someone singing the D was a little asleep on the wheel and just didn't get the memo about the chord changing on time? And so instead of they sang so they kind of hang on that D a little too long. They hang out on that D too long. They're kind of suspended in midair, suspended while the chord changed out from under it, and they're kind of suspended above it. That's the way I call it, the way I look at it. I'm suspended above the chord, and then I fall down to where the chord really should be. And then the chord resolves, right? So that's the idea of a suspension. There's one note that just doesn't really get the memo when the chord changes, and then eventually changes. And that happens right here. So we have this G chord, the G in the bass, and then a G, and a B and a D above it. I'm looking at this note here on the kind of the and of 3. And then instead of going down here to A and then E, A, and C sharp, instead of that C sharp happening right away, that top note just kind of just waits on the D a little bit longer, creates some tension, and then eventually comes down to the C sharp. So let's just listen to that passage right there. And that's the idea of a suspension and how Pachelbel uses it actually quite often in his famous canon in D.